You already laughing. I'm already laughing.
What's happening?
I think you got that effect on people. When people see you, do they just start laughing?
Well, I hope so, because that's what they pay me for. So I hope it's working.
Marcus, thank you for being here, a part of Cool Careers. I'm going to let you introduce yourself first.
Well, what's up, Cool Careers and everybody out there? I am Marcus D Wiley, a Renaissance man, comedian, radio personality, college professor, author, whatever it takes to get a check. I'm pretty much that, but definitely husband, father, all that good stuff, and happy to be here.
Well, that leads me to the next thing. What you also used to be was my neighbor. So
Yeah.
with the connection.
Yeah.
So just something to tell you, like a fun fact. The season opener for my first season was Maria Jackson, who she's a judge in Harris County, and she also used to live in the Ventana building. So I would say after that experience from Ventana, I would say it's you, the other Marcus, and Maria. So anyway, those are our takeaways and our experiences. So.
And let me tell you another thing. None of us would live in the Ventana right now. Let me say that. It was good in the early 2000s.
We were there from the beginning, right? Like, yeah, we were one of the first. I think they told us we were the 13th person there, But yeah, good times. We were there when it was brand new, and and y'all escaped before we did, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. We had to, but yes.
So anyway, I personally think connections are very important. Relationships are very important when it comes to your career. This is what I, kind of advise for those that's in your early career, for you to, build your network, really, connect. Can you start off by telling us how connections have been important for you in your career?
They've been everything. People will tell you. I remember people saying back when I was a child, they'll say stuff like, make sure you treat everybody like they are VIP. When I got the job as a teacher, it was the custodian who I was talking to who actually went to the principal and said, you need to hire that young man. Now, this is the custodian. This the person with got all the keys on him. And he went and told the principal, and the principal told me, I hired you because the custodian, spoke highly of you. And so, you got to treat people right, because you just never know how they connect you to others. And so pretty much in everything I've done, when I became a college professor, that was a connection. My dean was actually a professor of mine in undergrad.
Okay.
When he became the dean, he was like, yo, remember me from undergrad? And we were good. I got on the morning show, with Miss Yolanda Adams. Just her co-host at the time was a guy named Funky Larry Jones, who was a radio man in Houston. And he still is, actually, for Magic 102. Mm-hmm. And when they said they needed a comedian, he was like, yo, I know this guy. Because me and him had worked together at the Arena Theater. He was the resident host, and I was the resident comedian at the time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That was the morning show. And then definitely doing comedy, when you go different places and people like you respect them, they respect you, and they think you cool, and then they just refer you to keep getting booked. So connections, everything.
Yeah, and so you kind of did a 2-in-1. You kind of walked us through your journey. Tell us what you taught as a professor.
I teach communication courses. So many things from verbal, nonverbal, interviewing, persuasion, health communication, business professional communications, group communication. So whatever's under that umbrella, that's what I teach.
And was that your major? You majored in communication?
That's what I got my master's in. I got my master's in communications, but I got my bachelor's in radio, TV, film.
I see. So this was always your plan? Like,
yeah, I always wanted to be a professor. I didn't think I would be doing it so soon. You know, I thought I'd have a big, amazing career and then come back as an older professor, you know, all grade and,
right.
you know, and then, you know, just telling the youngsters what's up. But, you know, I've been doing it now since 2002. So
I see. And are you at TSU?
Yes.
Okay. And that's where you went undergrad, right?
Yeah, I went to undergrad.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my BA and my MA in Texas Southern.
All right. So since you majored in radio, and so you wanted to be in radio, basically, what was your plan, like, early career?
Oh, no, I always wanted to do commercials. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do commercials. I was good, I felt, at the time in college at coming up with creative ideas, jingles, things of this nature. I thought, you know, I wanted to do commercials. I really love commercials.
Really?
And, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And then maybe do a sitcom. You know, I've written a couple of sitcoms and stuff like that. So maybe a sitcom, but that's where I was, you know, that's what I was thinking I was going to be doing. And then, you know, when I graduated, I went to BET. I got a job as a producer at BET, working on a show called Hits from the Streets.
Okay, I remember that show.
Yeah. So
yeah.
There
All right.
3 years. Yeah, 3 years. And then, you know, people liked him. They thought he was so funny. And he was. But I was writing it. And so it was like, well, I must be funny.
Right.
And so, let me cut the middleman out. And so that's how I became a comedian. Yeah.
So was that the first time you actually found out you were funny? You didn't think you were funny prior to that?
Oh, yeah. I knew I had the wit and the stage presence. I've been hosting things and stuff like that. But I didn't think I could do stand-up comedy because most of the guys I like and the young ladies I like that do stand-up, they curse, you know, they use vulgarity, profanity, and you know, and I can do that. I know how to do it. But because my dad is a pastor and grandfather's a pastor, I just didn't want to be presenting myself on stage in that fashion. I don't have no problem with people that do. I'm just
right. No judgment, but it's just not your style.
It just wasn't my style. You know, I do that behind closed doors. Amen. But in front of the masses, I couldn't do it. So I didn't think being a comedian, you know, was feasible. And then,
I see.
And then a guy showed me some clean cats, and he was like, "Yo, you can do this." And
yeah, it really works for you. I love your spiritual angle. I think it's very clever. I think you got your own niche, and so basically you started off that way, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, started off clean. Started off at a coffee shop in Pearland called Muddy Waters Coffee Shop before Pearland was all built up.
Yeah.
And Desiree Irby and Ann Williams. They own.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. They own the coffee shop. 2 black ladies doing their thing.
Yeah.
And so, but they wanted no cussing, no vulgarities. That was their thing. And so they wanted to keep their stuff pure and holy. And so that's how I started.
Yeah, I remember that. We actually came out to see you once out there. And we also were patrons of the Candy Lady. Which was a lot of... So tell us about the Candy Lady and your whole concept about the Candy Lady, because I always thought it was really, really cute. I loved it.
Yeah, so the Candy Lady, and my college roommate and one of my best friends, Keelan Farouk, we
Shout out Keelan!
Shout out Keelan. Once the Candy Lady, once I started doing comedy, Keelan was like, you know, he's an entrepreneur. He got his hand in everything. He was like, hey, you need to get your own club. I was like, my own club? He was like, yeah, your own club.
Why you sound like him?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking on that level. But he was like, he's like, yeah, get your own club. You ain't got to perform every week. You perform when you're in town, but you already have something, a place where people can go. And then when you're not working, you have something. And so our whole thing was, though, man, but we ain't wanted liquor, and you know, we wanted to be different and kind of eclectic. And so
Right.
we was like, what can we call it? So we both grew up in the hood. He's in 3rd Ward, I was in 4th Ward, and we had these things called candy ladies back in the day. These were homes that you went to. You didn't get a receipt, okay? But the lady at the house, she had like cool cups and tea cakes and candy and all this type of stuff. So that's what we brought that to the club. So we was selling throwback candy like Chico sticks and Nerds and all that, and Kool-Aid and pickles with the peppermint in it. You know, that's how we was selling the candy lady while you watch comedy. It was a great idea. The problem is it didn't make money. It's only so much you can, a pickle.
Right.
You can't charge a pickle for the same price you charge a frozen margarita. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, I hear you. And I loved all of it. But you're right. I mean, back in the day, you know, we used to call that like penny candy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
so, you know, so by the time you're doing it, you can charge $1, maybe.
And we charged more, but it still wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. Yeah.
People that go out, they like alcohol. They like alcohol.
They can enjoy the comedy better that way, it seems. Now, does your family think you're funny?
Sometimes.
Okay. Sometimes.
Yeah, because they get what the public don't get, which is, you know, markers when I'm talking about the bills, and when I'm talking to, you know, they got to get that side.
Right.
So for a while, it took me a minute to get a balance, because you know, my wife used to be like, yeah, you out hee high over here, but then at home, you real, you know, and so I had to learn, okay, I got to be able to take this home. But I just look at comedy as a job. It's not my life. That's my job. So when I come home, I'm like, you know, James Evans.
Not James Evans.
Do what I fist. But you know, now, you know, I'm better now. I'm better.
Yes, I understand. Well, that kind of, I'm happy you embarked on that, because I'm quite fascinated with comedians. So I wanted to ask you what type of comedian you were, and I kind of hear what you're saying. I see comedians, or I would say natural comedians, are very dark individuals. I don't know if and you know, they don't have that presence. So I just wanted to know a little bit about, you know, how your normal personality is.
No doubt. Well, I'm very, you know, I'm outgoing, definitely. I've always been like the life of the party, you know, even before comedy.
Yeah.
You know, I already was popular. Like comedy didn't bring that to me.
Yeah.
You know, I was already that. You know, I'm talking about in my world is what I'm saying. In my world. Definitely comedy made it bigger because it's all across, but it wasn't new to me that people know you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And so, but I think for me, I'm more of a storyteller. I talk about my life. You know, I figure I have a great life. You know, even before comedy, I had a great life. I mean, I've been blessed, you know, and so I just try to share. You know, my whole mantra is to make light and shed light.
I like it.
What I do with my comedy, you know, so I'm trying to make light of whatever your situation is. So I talk a lot about marriage, I talk a lot about parenting, talk a lot about jobs I've had, you know, all that type of stuff. So I want to make light of it because I know other people deal with some of those same things. Then I also want to shed light. So that's the difference between maybe what I do and what others do.
Right.
Because I want you to leave not only having a good time, but I also want to, you know, be thought-provoking and have you look at something a different way, and, you know, that'll maybe help you out.
Yeah, I really like that. That needs to be a T-shirt as well. I like that saying.
I've been procrastinating, but yes, make light shed. Yeah.
I like it. It's a nice mantra to have. Now, you've mentioned how you were raised. Is your mom, your grandfather, your dad, are they like, you know, oh so proud of you, and, you know, just keeping a lot of, you know, I would say your fundamentals and your foundation of how you've been raised, you know, throughout your life, throughout your career?
Yeah, I think, so my mom lives with me and my family, me and my wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Nice.
my father that raised me, he died in 2009.
Okay.
And then mom was out at the house. I had bought them a home in 2005. And so she was out there by herself, and I don't think she was doing well. You know, so I asked my wife, you know how she feel about that. You know, nobody want to live with their in-laws.
Yeah.
Only child. And I
Oh,
sold
you're
her
the only one. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm the only one that's gonna look after my mom. You know?
Yeah.
And so I sold on the benefits of having, my mom at the crib. So we built a bigger house, sold my mama house, built a bigger house so we can all coexist. You know, black folk need room. But my mom, I think, is extremely proud because, she was never afforded the type of lifestyle that we live today. And what I mean by that is just going out to eat whenever you want to. I'm talking about just little stuff. I'm not trying to act like, we live this grandiose lifestyle, but just being able to order off all lips of the menu.
That's right. I understand. Yeah. No, I'm the only child as well. I was raised by a single parent. I completely know, that small life. I mean, I'm in 5th grade. Mom's like, you balance that checkbook, and if you want them jeans, if you find some money in there, then maybe you can have some jeans. But you balance that checkbook first. So you live a real life. So I completely hear and know exactly what you're talking about. And yeah, we live a completely different life, or at least I do. Then I'm raising my family different than the way I was raised, and so it is nice to have them here. I would say lately, because we were gone for many years, but since we came back, my mom is kind of part-time living with us, and it is a lot of she comes back and forth from Dallas.
Yeah, a lot of help.
We need help.
But you know what, Shay, the thing of it is, our people, black people, we struggle with family living together.
We do.
Because the way we grew up, because even how I grew up with my mom and my dad, I knew at 18, I had a decision that needed to be made. I was on the shot clock. My mom was like, listen, on board, because we look at 18 as being grown. So you like either you going to college,
right? Where you going?
To the service, or you going to the streets. But you got to get out of here, And so we always preaching in our homes, independence.
That's right.
But then a lot of other ethnicities, they stay together until they're strong enough to branch out.
Well, we used to do this. Like, we used to, be one of those cultures that had multi-generations living together. I mean, I grew up that way. Like, until I was 9, I lived with my grandmother and my mom's siblings because they were all teenagers. Right. So we all lived together until my mom could afford, and she moved to Dallas. My family's from Tyler. So we made the transition, and that was a big deal, for her to leave and depart, the entire family, and to start something new. So I think we've come away, once we feel like we've made it, so to speak, that we kind of come away from some of these cultural norms. And I'm with you. Like, I'm very grateful for the help that I get from my family because, it's very helpful. We all, these families, now we're everyone's working, before, like, maybe one person worked or that sort of thing. But if we're both having, our space, then we do need additional help, right? So, good for Erica for being smart enough to say, yes, let's do this. So I'm with you. So tell me, what's next for Marcus? Like, what's on the horizon? Are you on the road? Are you touring? What's happening now because of COVID and that sort of thing?
But yeah, definitely, I'm still on the road. Doing COVID, did a lot more virtual shows. Now it's kind of dying down, and travel has picked up. Again, people are doing in-person events now. So, what's next? I wish I knew. And sometimes I don't even want to know. Okay. I like being wild, and I like being shocked and surprised.
Okay.
about how life gonna take you, where it's gonna go. Just like this COVID is surprised. Was a surprise.
Well, if you like surprises,
Yeah,
then you
I
got.
mean, I'm just saying. But you learn a lot about yourself when life throws you a lot of curves, or when things not going the way you planned, and how you handle those things kind of show you type of character that you have. And so I embrace it. I mean, that don't mean I like it all the time, but I do embrace it because I love looking back saying, man, do you remember when the old better place? So I do enjoy that. Yeah. So whatever next, I'm ready though.
So Marcus, can we say, do you feel like you've made it? Is that a thing for you? Like, do you feel that way? Because we left, like, before we left, you were doing kind of like your show, whatever. We go away for like 8 years. We come back, it's like, dang, go Marcus! So there's a lot of pride in when we see you, out there doing your thing. So, to us from the outside looking in, it's like, he made it. But do you feel that way?
Well, I guess if you put it like that, no, I think I'm making it.
You making it?
I don't think I've made it. I think made it, because I still pay bills. To me, when you made it, that means you own your house. I mean, I own my house.
Right.
I have 2 houses. I own them, but I'm paying for them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't just own them straight out where I got my,
Right. Like you was doing serious chill mode. I hear you. I hear you.
So I would say I'm making it.
You're making it.
Yeah, but made it, nah.
I like it. You say you're an author. So why don't you tell us a little about your book?
Yeah, so in 2014, I believe, that was the year, I wrote a book called Hustle and Faith. Hustle and Faith. Yeah, and it was really stuff that I was talking about, and Miss Yolanda Adams was like, man, you need to put it in a book. Basically, she was a pimp. She was like, the game should be sold, not told. And so I put it, I just wrote the book, and the book was based off of the time I was born up until 2014. At that time, like I say, I'm a professor, radio host, and comedian. And so it was just talking about I got here by way of hustle and faith.
I like it.
I use my my religious or my biblical background where it says faith without works is dead, and basically it's if you 21st century urban vernacularize it, is saying your faith need a job. You just can't believe. You got to get out and do some things. And so the book is just laced with stories and incidents and things of that nature about how I got to be the
where you are. I love that.
And so that was it, Hustle and Faith. And it was God honors your faith, but he rewards your hustle. Wow.
Yeah. All right. So you are a great writer. I like everything. I like all your mantras. You good at this communication thing, Marcus. I believe you. I
do my best.
Now, what about young comedians that's coming behind you, and what kind of natural advice are you giving these days?
Really, I need advice from them. These new comedians that's doing their thing. It's a different type of comic. I'm more of a classic comedian, traditional comedian. Now the new comedians are on social media, with the skits.
Yeah.
All that, and that's really not my forte. That's not my thing, but that's where the world is right now. And so, like, I don't have any hate on them or anything like that, but I don't think I'm in a position to even, tell them, because these guys are making money hand over fist, because they just know how to do social media where they get paid by Facebook and so forth and so on. And I have no clue, you know what I'm saying? And so even though they can't touch me on stage,
I see.
But they, I can't see them on social media. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So what do you think that, I would say one ingredient, if you feel like, to be successful in the area of comedy, what would be that one thing that someone would need?
I think for me, I would go with authenticity, I believe.
Okay.
I think what's worked for Marcus D. Wiley over the years is I've been me. And,
yeah.
And that makes it relatable to people. Even if people don't like me, at least they don't like me. They don't like a representation of me. Like, it's been me. And so, because, I think when I get on stage, I want to be real.
Mm-hmm.
And, they say real recognize real. So if that be the case, then, so that's what I would say, authentic, being authentic.
Yeah, I would definitely contest to that. I think you are very much on stage who you are off stage. And I think that's really refreshing, especially as you're making it. People change. And so, kudos for always, being you. So I appreciate you being here. I cannot even tell you the pride that, I know people, around me and just people who know you, that you might not even know that I know. It's like, oh, okay. But everyone, we're all just so, just so proud of you. So congratulations. And thank you. It's an honor for you to be here. I'm so blessed and honored that you would oblige me with your presence. I feel like people are learning from other people. And that's, that is how we actually learn. So this is what this space is all about. So you sharing your space and your journey with us is going to be great. Really showing how connections really, really work. So, and literally just making a phone call. Just like, it's not like we talk every day. Like, hey, Marcus, bam, let me see if you're going to say yes. Look on me on my little old podcast. Let's do it.
Don't despise little beginnings. That's what the Bible says.
That's right. I love it. I love all of your mantra. I need for you to send me an inspirational quote of the day. That needs to be kind of one of your things. That needs to be next week. So what next? You need to get you an inspirational book and do your quotes per day. I bet you can do really well with that. I like them.
I bet if I go look through all my scripts, I probably can pull it off.
You can do it. I know. I can. You dropped about 10 today. So in 30 minutes, you got this.
For sure.
Marcus, thank you.
All right, tell Scott I said what up.
I sure will. See you later.
Right.
Hugs to Erica and the kids.